versus Gaimin Gladiators Grand Finals. Game 1.
It has begun game 1 of our best of 5 here in Royal Arena in Copenhagen, Denmark. And for that first game, we got Team Liquid coming from the upper bracket to the dire side with first pick. They already got their hands on Nature's Prophet. Gaimin Gladiators will play this first game. From the Radiant side, they will also get that strategic overall last pick. And Lacoste, I think we are seeing an opening here from both teams that is basically throwing out the playbook.
Pretty much. Team Liquid, they did not lose with Nature's Prophet yet. They played 2 games on 2 different roles, won both of them, and now we're seeing Underlord, something that worked out amazingly in their previous series that they played. They did open up earlier today, literally 2 hours ago when they played against Tundra. We kind of expected this hero to come out when Gaimin is going to be pushed against the wall, when they're going to be backs against the wall. So Underlord back in action. We saw what they can do in game 3, going for that Hail Mary play behind the enemy throne and kill it.
Also, Nature's Prophet is a hero that is typically counterpicked, or was typically counterpicked throughout the last few months by Dragon Knight. Often teams have reacted to NP with this hero, but yesterday Team Liquid put Gaimin Gladiators in a position where they picked Dragon Knight twice and lost twice. So they're kind of just throwing them the gauntlet here. I dare you to pick Dragon Knight. I dare you to counterpick our Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and the thing here with Nature's Prophet, I like how Gaimin have already made a statement. Nature's Prophet cannot play Dota if in the first 15 minutes you don't take towers. You can fall off and your entire game is built on momentum. So you pick an Underlord in the off lane, Quinn gets an anti-Prophet hero from the mid, and have a really strong safe lane. Now this Nature's Prophet will be a little bit lost in the early moves, looking on other heroes for Liquid to step up and fill that void. But luckily for Liquid, they're so aggressive that the weaknesses of a bad counter pick for the Natures, it will be fixed by other heroes, but something to consider.
Yeah, and betting out the Enchantress, this hero, we said it a lot of times, but I would say position 5 as well of the tournament, besides Tusk, when it comes down to damage dealing. Win rate, I would say it doesn't do her justice. This hero has been pretty much a turret with the pure damage, and also because you're playing off the Greater Treant, she can easily steal that, use it against you, so very good ban from Liquid.
And as we have the Grand Finals mini-meta already clear in Game 1, Gaimin having to ban the Rubik in the second phase because of the Underlord. You give a Rubik to Liquid, that's a free Pit of Mana's, free Firestorm, he just becomes the better version of Underlord, but you'd never see that ban really if the Underlord wasn't picked.
Tusk is still available. This is the hero that kind of struggles against root mechanics, against leashes, but we've seen in the previous series what he can do, even though playing in a bad matchup. This is just overall one of the best heroes that gives you everything, so I want to see this hero being contested in the second pick phase.
Mirana and Omni Knight are also available heroes that haven't gone ignored that much this TI. Mirana is a really great hero that you can build your draft around. Both teams have a good track record playing it, and it amplifies a lot of damage coming out from ranged cores like Furion. I would imagine picking Chen as well kind of increases that hero's value because of the arrow as a counter to his creeps. There is still the Tusk too, which is, again, hard to ignore. They've been playing it mostly on Boxy, where other teams have been running it on position 5 instead.
Chen is, in the hands of Celery, one of the best heroes that he can play. You got the Divine Favor for the armor as well in the games and the fights. Like those so many clutch moments. It's the aura from the Chen that he buys, the aura he provides from his spells, the bonus healing. With then any jungle creep he wants to try and influence. It's so hard to deal with. Auras from Underlord, auras from Chen.
And it's all about the speed. If you have Underlord plus Chen, that also means that you will have 2 heroes who are going to be buying into auras. So you will hit an earlier timing, but I like this. This is Team Liquid's bread and butter. Tusk that we did mention, plus the Visage, super strong lane. You get that extra gold whenever you get the kill with Visage, up to 210 gold with the Facet. Super speedy draft.
It also gives you an overwhelming amount of tower pressure, because now you're looking at Visage plus the auras with his familiars at level 6. You're looking at the Nature's Prophet TP in with the Greater Treant, and I would imagine that Liquid want a hero that can go through the Twin Gate early, get that bottom lane tower with 33's Visage, kick the enemy carry out, and make Gaimin's maps smaller. This is where Chen does come into play a little bit, because Chen is also considered a counter pick to Furion, because he can enchant his Greater Treant and take that away.
I mean, again, with Chen, the jungle, if you get the Frost Mage, get the Ice Armor from the jungle creep, you're throwing even more armor into a Tusk and a Nature's Prophet that like to utilize the right-click damage, but still. CK. Strong lane. They're fitting the formula that I mentioned, right? Strong safe lane to try and apply punishment. Off lane that doesn't care about profit. They're taking the fight to Liquid in that laning stage.
CK was also one of GG's favorite pairings with Chen at the last tournament, the Riyadh Masters, where they would just throw in CK's body with all of Chen's healing and auras and try to out-pressure the enemies. This hero did fall out of they're so cute. This hero did fall out of meta though because of the meta shifting to the semi-carry range players, but I think within this draft still does a great job.
Yeah, and they've not played CK so far at the International, but again, we know that they play it throughout the year, so it shouldn't be a shock to Liquid.
I want to see which facet he's going to go for. Phantasmagoria, it does give you damage reduction on CK illusions, but Irrationality, that's the one that has been buffed. You can apply Break, Disarm, or Silence for a 50% of the base debuff duration. So it could be really nice against Visage.
This Batrider also very nice against Visage, especially in that early game. You want to kill Visage where he's most susceptible, which is the laning stage. If he has heroes that can go on him, that can reposition him, then that's where you can threaten him the most before he gets his familiars up early, before he starts taking your towers early. So I would hope that this Batrider is being played on Tofu, that he's going to go through the gates and try to get 1 or 2 kills at least on Visage.
Now you see the mid lane, the undefeated Puck from Nisha coming in to punish the lack of lockdown. The Batrider and the Chen, if this is your support duo, it's really difficult for them to ever kill off the Puck. Same thing, like Underlord with a root, it's nice, but it's not enough. You always need that +1.
Remove Monkey on side of Liquid. This hero is still a bit... Oh, never mind. He's banned. He's banned. This is one of the worst matchups from Pucks. We've seen Gaimin Gladiators kind of own the map 7-8 minutes in. Yeah, I think Quinn in one of those games was godlike.
I would like to see Quinn get maybe Earthshaker.
I was about to say.
I want like a little bit of instant stun. Again, DK, it is available, but that was like the old school. The new school is going for Earthshaker. Instant stun, there's going to be, again, not a lot of treants because it's the only single tree, but with the birds, the tree, the grouping, the natural objective pressure Liquid applies, you're going to have opportunities because Underlord will soak the initiation to get good jumps.
The Omni Knight ban would have been such a great hero for Liquid, especially with this Batrider coming out. The need to counter the lasso to make sure your carry, Nature's Prophet, isn't getting jumped on early on. It gets taken out. Another potential save support that Liquid could run versus the Batrider is Oracle. It is a hero that they enjoy.
This is going to be sustained. These fights, nobody's going to die instantly. So many saves coming out from, you know, just Underlord with his auras, buying Chen with his ulti. Everybody has some kind of a lifesteal as well. I don't see any Shiva's buyer or Scotty buyers yet on side of Liquid.
Interesting. Gaming opt to ban the Clockwork instead of the Treant Protector. I think Liquid, Treant Protector, Living Armor against the CK, the Overgrowth to kind of secure some additional team fight to ensure your lane goes well for the Nature's Prophet. Could have been pretty cool, but again, Clockwork, a little bit more aggressive for the mid game at least potentially, but yeah, I'm expecting Treant from Liquid here.
Gaimin at the moment maybe realizing that Team Liquid can't really commit that hard. They don't really have a strong initiator like Clockwork would be if they got their hands on it. And Liquid ban out the sniper, and they got the double saving support with Shadow Demon, still last pick for them.
They do. Shadow Demon also functions as an excellent save versus both the Batrider Lasso and the CK Stun. You just disrupt the target he goes on, you just build those stacks up for your Visage in that triangle so that he could hit his timings faster, and it gives you the ability to set up on the map for the Nature's Prophet TP, which is very important. That is what Furion wants to play with, aggressive side lanes, so that he can take advantage of his global presence early on.
The one thing to add, Shadow Demon against CK, against his innate ability, whenever CK creates an illusion, there's a 50% chance, and their chance also applies to Shadow Demon. So if he uses Disruption, he could create more illusions out of CK.
It just helps against the aura as well. When Liquid want to push early on, one cheap aura from the Underlord is now mitigated. When you go on a hero, Shadow Demon can get rid of any of the buffs, so yeah, it helps Liquid secure their first Roshan, get that Aegis, and push forward in 20 minutes. That's what the SD is going to secure. But they had a minute of reserve time for Gaming on this last pick. They now pick up the hero, and they go for a Riki.
Ooh,
finally!
Everybody,
Everybody was playing this hero coming into TI, road to TI. Every single mid player had 7+ games on Riki. What makes this hero super strong is now with his facet, you get 4.5 extra agi, so you're kind of one-shotting the creep wave, and also with your shard, you don't allow Shadow Demon nor Tusk to be able to get their saves off.
And not just that, the Facet makes it so you're not just one-shotting creep waves, but the jungle, you clear that so fast because Ricky's abilities are low cooldown. But the biggest factor for Ricky here is his silence, his smoke. He's going to use this to try to kill the Puck early game with the defusal plus smoke cloud plus +1 rotation from his team. Puck should always be dead. Also, when you've got 2 save supports, T, like Tusk and Shadow Demon, you need backline control like Ricky provides.
And you can't target when you're in the smoke screen if you get a shard. And on top of that, you're going to force Nisha to have to think about a 4-staff or a BKB on the Puck. That just sounds awful because every Puck player, they want to go for all the damage, the Witch Blades, the Blink, the Kaya, everything other than save. And now he has to think about it. So yeah, Ricky pick, pretty niche. I like it. A lot of cool options. And yeah, nice, refreshing draft. Gaming bringing out, what, 2 heroes that we didn't see so far at TI in game 1 of the Grand Finals.
I love it. I am very curious to see how this first game is going to play out. I am also very curious to hear some words from Coach Blitz, who's on the stage.
Thank you very much, Blitz. Welcome to Grand Finals with Team Liquid, where it seems like Gaimin, they still have tricks up their sleeve. Quinn, last pick Ricky mid. What do you think about it?
I mean, he's a rat. He only plays these cheese heroes that require 0 skill. He's afraid of playing Nisha straight up 1v1, so he's going to do some stuff like this all the time. I understand it. It's all good. I'd do the same if I was playing Nisha.
I see. So it's a cowardice strategy, perhaps. And also, I was hoping to get some questions about your fashion choices. I see all the other coaches, they go into their jerseys. They have their specific uniforms, but you come out looking nice. I like it. What's the reasoning?
I think it's important to look your best before you bury somebody.
Well, I guess the funeral dirge shall begin. Game number 1 to our casters. Good luck, Blitz.
Copenhagen, are you ready? Incredible atmosphere here, ladies and gentlemen. As we're about to get ready to get stuck into the action of this Grand Finals. Gaimin Gladiators versus Liquid. Folks, we've seen this many times before. We know how it tends to go, supposed to go. Could it be different today?
I think we all hope so. I think we're all hoping for 5 games, but the best thing is we're definitely going to get 3 games.
But that's true. That's true. We've already been spoiled with quite some fantastic Dota already earlier in the day today, and let's hope that continues here into this best of 5. So as we heard, exciting talks around the Ricky coming in from Quinn to end the draft from Gaimin. Do you think this is something that did go under Liquid's radar?
I mean, we've seen people talking about it. The pubs have been riddled with it. Thompson was playing it a ton, Quinn, and tons of these pubs as well, too. There's just a lot of heroes that you have to think about, and it is Grand Final, so this becomes its own mini-meta. So things are going to come out that you maybe didn't expect fully, but we'll see if it ends up working, because you can tell why they wanted it. Panel talked about it, the anti-saves, the silence versus the Puck and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's see what ends up going down and how these matchups end up going. I haven't seen a Ricky versus Puck matchup in a long, long time, if not ever.
It's going to be exciting to see what Quinn can pull off, especially as we saw in some of the replays earlier being shown from Nisha this tournament on his Puck. He has had some insane showings. Let's see if he's going to be on the way to get some more of those rampages that we know he's able to pull out on this hero. Overall, though, do you have a preference with the style that either of the teams have decided to pull out here in this first game of the best of 5?
Liquid's gone more for just the standard at this tournament, right? I feel like Gaming, they've clearly gone a little bit different. Yes, 3 of the heroes look very, very normal, but the CK and the Ricky are a bit of that oddball out, at least currently in this meta. So we'll see what Dyrachyo in particular wants to do with this, because what I'm looking at with this lane is that they're just trying to sustain versus this damage that comes out from this Visage and this Tusk that can be very, very oppressive. They've got tons of sustain with Divine Favor, they'll be able to mana burn, and of course CK just has built-in sustain from that Chaos Strike.
I mean, how much does that sort of mess with Liquid's game plan if Liquid's duo lane down here isn't necessarily able to find early kills?
I probably messes with it a decent amount because that's the way they've played with 33, just looking for constant kills, but Liquid is not afraid to break 33 out of this lane. I've seen him roaming at like the 6-minute mark as this Visage, and it ends up working out a lot of times, so it's all gonna come down if they can get those type of trade kills or not. It feels like it could be difficult for them to pressure this lane down bottom, but they are taking care of that Satyr. So that's the second time now Celery has put the Satyr, the one that burns the mana, the Mind Steal, I believe it's called, and it killed it twice. So that's actually huge because it reduces that mana. Also, it gives that extra mana to Dyrachyo too, so it's good that they're able to clear that one out to at least try to apply some pressure onto this CK.
Yeah,
Mid lane,
Quinn
is giving it to Nisha.
He certainly is getting a fair few denies in, of course, already in this Ricky versus Puck matchup. Now in with the trick of the trade, he's going to find the first blood. Oh, Well, I said, I don't know if Liquid expected this Ricky to come out, and I don't know if Nisha was prepared to play this matchup, or at least, you know, expected something like that to come out from him. Quinn just jumps in and kills him off first.
After already decimating in the laning phase too, the first 2-3 waves, 10 and 4 on this Ricky. You heard it from Blitz. Quinn likes to play these little bit of cheesy heroes in a way, but this one, at least in the first few waves, it's gonna be great. And you can see, you know, we talked about the reasons why they want it later on. So if he's off to a good start, can be a very dangerous hero.
Absolutely, he's gonna be just such a nuisance for every single one of Liquid's heroes if Quinn does start to ball out of control.
Honestly, all of them, a lot of them do really suffer.
What do you do?
Yeah,
what do you do? There's Ricky sneaking around, jumping on top of you, slamming down a smoke screen and killing you off with this incredible amount of damage with the tricks of trade. Yeah, Quinn gets his first item at a quick timing. Liquid, they've got some serious problems they're going to have to start answering.
Absolutely, but they do have strong lane up top in particular. Mickey, they do have great ways to rotate around the map and pressure everywhere too, so should be able to react. It's just, if he's able to sneak into these back lines, it's going to disrupt a lot of these potential saves that come out either from Boxy and from Insania.
Now looking at the top lane so far, Mickey's farm, perfectly fine. Obviously, Gaimin Gladiators getting the Ace Underlord in. We saw how incredible Ace is on this hero and just how much this hero offers, right? In that crazy game we had earlier, this can absolutely be the hero that it's that crucial part to just get you the win, get on top of the Ancient, end the game. There's so much you can do with it, and Ace, he knows how to do everything with it.
Yeah, it matches mobility as well too, which is really, really nice versus something like Nature's Prophet when the game starts getting to these type of moves that are happening all over the map. So yeah, it's definitely obviously their bread and butter, and they've moved up that priority so much, just first picking it now.
And they're not afraid to do so whatsoever. On the other side of the map, Dracho still continuing to have very little pressure applied to him because of the nature of the setup that Gaimin Gladiators went with this duo lane. Is definitely playing out, as you'd imagine, just consistently staying at full HP and finding opportunities to get a little bit aggressive themselves. They're in on a 33. Gonna try and hide in the trees.
Another nuke.
Gonna be the block off there from Boxy. He's able to present himself, make sure the Celery and Dresser cannot continue to chase. Maybe if they can turn and try and take down Celery in return, another Solar Subject comes in. It's enough burst. Liquid.
Nicely done, Boxy. Giving it to Duracho too.
Able to bait Gaimin Gladiators in there deep enough and turn around. You can never underestimate the damage coming out when these few fully charged Soul Assumptions come flying back at you.
Or how much Drinking Buddies just does in general, right? Boxy just giving them that mobility, being able to turn that fight beautifully. And they killed the creep. That's the important thing too. We saw it again. I think they've killed 4 of them or something like that. And that one was the Harpy Stormcrafter that they were able to bring down while the chase was coming out as well. So very good identification of making sure those creeps just don't bully them out. But mid continues to be a big problem. Quinn, 23 and 10 to the 16 and 2.
It really does. It's going to be one of those sort of situations where I feel like Niche is going to really be keeping his eyes open for big opportunities on the side lanes once he hits the 6. To see if there's heroes who can team up and help him out, or maybe even some sort of early potential from Mickey to come in with a teleport, maybe a support rotation. Probably looking around that 6-minute power ring timing to try and catch Quinn out.
No, absolutely. And I would imagine like the combos that they can do with the coil plus the Wrath of Nature, they might want to give Mickey just extra levels up here. So I want to see Insania maybe play just further on the side, just get that 6 very early on so that Nisha can make that first move with that extra big bonus damage. And Mickey's actually making a potential move. He's canceling a few times.
Bottom lane.
He's getting gun on top. Mickey.
They're going in with a dive on towards Duracho. The Solar Subject burst come in, they take him out.
Celery's got to get a trade.
Same time indeed on that top lane, losing Mickey. So whilst the aggression came out from Liquid first down bottom, overall they're the ones to lose 2 heroes, top and bottom lanes.
Mickey started TPing right in front of them, so they just put the pin on him and committed onto him. So it's a little bit of an overzealous move that he tried to join down bottom and will get punished immediately from Ace and from Tofu.
Yeah, rare mistake from Mickey on his Prophet. Something that can happen, I guess, when you're watching the minimap, looking elsewhere, and not being too careful with the position that you're actually leaving your actual unit in. Mickey, it's got to be more careful against these 2 top.
And overall, I would say for Mickey, it is the first pick hero of this game, and it does feel like it does have a lot of counters in particular. We saw it struggle a couple times on this main stage as well. So we'll see how Mickey can endure. Just these heroes getting on top of him early.
Boxy trying to bring Nisha over to help them close the gap on towards Quinn. They come in with a TP from Mickey. This is the move you expect to see here at the 6-minute. Trying to punish the Ricky. Quinn, he'll jump over to the creep wave. The Soul Central will be dodged with that movement, but the snowball connects. They bring Quinn down. It takes a lot.
It takes, what, 2 sentries, a dust, and a commitment from the Nature's Prophet. That is a lot to get this Ricky down, but a move that maybe was necessary to slow him down.
On top lane, Nisha coming in with a rotation, see if they can pick something more out of this early action. Liquid. Face down on towards Tofu, but to deal with the orb missing, Tofu's going to opt for the TP out. There's nothing to stop it. So Liquid, they won't find anything more.
Just trying to get involved though as much as possible. Get these early moves to just slow down the Ricky, who's having that amazing start. But yeah, a lot committed. Literally 2 sentries plus a dust plus an extra rotation. And now Celery, he's felt the option to be able to actually move top and potentially play around Ace here.
And Ace, pretty terrifying already, of course, as the Underlord. We've seen so many times when he's on this hero, once he gets the ball rolling, it definitely becomes this lane, this area that the opponents just don't really want to go to, and if they do, it just takes so much to try and slow down an Underlord when he's really hit his stride.
Yeah, and it's a standard Gaimin Gladiators kind of draft, right? These auras are going to come, and they're going to come quick, so if you start losing these towers too early, those auras will come even faster, especially that pipe in particular for Ace that will come out, which is going to be pretty crucial, honestly. Like, the damage from Liquid in the early game is pretty much all magical, besides that Visage plus the drinking buddies.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Heavy pressure being applied that at the moment isn't being matched quite yet by Liquid, yet to do that much damage at all to the safe lane tier 1 of Gaimin Gladiators.
The nice thing though is that 33's actually just been able to sit bottom. He's top net worth on this Visage. We've seen a couple times this hero can't get ganked and pushed out of lane a little.
Celery, nice grab there, takes over the Hellbear Smasher, gets a clapping on towards Insania. Tofu's in on top of him. Gaimin Gladiators completely taking over Liquid's jungle. This top half of the map, not a safe place for Liquid to be. Over in the river, they've got the Dream Core. Mika comes in with the TP. Quinn did get the smoke screen down in time, and it's definitely helping him out, but is it enough to allow him to jump away? Tricks of the trade there.
No way.
Blink strike out to the side.
No way.
He's able to get out, and he's able to get a regen rune as well. Liquid, they're desperately trying to find Quinn in the mid. Last time they succeeded. This time, they don't get him fogged.
Oh, and he gets our regen too. They committed 4 heroes plus another dust just trying to bring him down. They're really just trying to get rid of this rat. But Quinn, yeah, surviving, just staying under that smoke screen.
I mean, they're bringing in the action. Duraccio's collapsing in on mid. Ace is ready to come over with the ultimate. They want to try and take this fight. Gaimin Gladiators, they jump forward. Duraccio's going to get caught with the immediate stun, but now he's ready to turn. Has the control in on towards the tusk. Boxy to fall. Gaimin Gladiators, they're feeling strong with the group up.
They lost the birds, the familiars. Both just get taken out immediately from the group up.
And they're ready to split back up straight away. Go back to farming. Ace will stick around in the mid. Putting this pressure on. I mean, they're just showing themselves, you know, Liquid, they can try and make these moves, but now, Gaimin Gladiators, they will be ready to respond. And under the tower, Quinn's in with the tricks of the trade. Insania has already used the disruption. He's trying to juke around the tree line, but Quinn will find him. Another one for the Ricky. Celery, in return, does get caught out. Nisha Boxy and 33 pick him off to the side.
They're trying to match this tempo. Just, I mean, how many heroes are we seeing brought to the mid lane? But immediately, as that mid lane hole pressure happened, Duraccio just bailed out. He's like, I don't want to stay around here. We're not going to get the tower. I know they're going to match us. So he goes back to farm.
Tofu is a little bit deep here.
Another soul assumption.
Oh, uphill miss, uphill miss. Okay, well, that's going to cause some issues. Soul assumption will solve the issues, though. Gets the hit in. 33 able to finish up another and continue to just have this incredible amount of farm. Top net worth right now here on the Visage.
Yeah, he's having a great time. And we'll have always drinking buddies plus his familiars when it does come back up. Now the cooldown is back, so we'll have that one at the ready. The wards right now placed from gaming, it's very oppressive. So you can tell the type of game that they're liking to play, which they usually do, is apply pressure, take these early towers, and kind of snowball off of that. So Liquid responding nicely, and will be able to respond again. They've got Coil ready, and they've got Wrath of Nature. Every time they have these 2 ultis, it feels like they can try to match that tempo of gaming.
Nisha. Ooh, easy deny.
Got him.
Just in time. I wonder if that was going to be ones where they get the pick up and then deny at the same time, but not quite. Nisha able to take it out before Quinn gets the refuel. And Quinn, of course, working well on the way towards that diffusal blade first. Wants to get completely stuck in on the action. He's got the setup here with the silence. Good knockback with a flame break, keeping him in the silence a little bit longer, but they don't have any further lockdown beyond that. So Nisha still able to escape.
But every time he shows his face, Nisha's getting put below 50% HP, so the extra kill threat could come through that next jump. Nisha does have to be very cautious.
I mean, we might see that jump come in, maybe not towards him, but maybe towards the bottom instead. And as soon as they show their hand mid, make that play, Quinn and Tofu fall back.
They've got the Fiend's Gate ready.
Has been scanned out, though.
Liquid has to be ready with the numbers, because the extra number can be brought from gaming from that Fiend's Gate. So Mike has to be at ready.
And with the scan hitting, looks like Liquid should not get caught off guard by this. Quinn's looking back towards the mid.
Sure.
And do have the Fiend's Gate, as you say, if you want to make this play over towards him. Silence to set things up. Good angle with the flame break. Keeps him in range of the stun as well for Duraccio. Tofu knowing perfectly how to hit these angles and get the most out of Quinn's smoke screens.
It's not your most traditional kind of way to lock down a puck. It's not a stun, but
it's a tricky one.
Into a knockback. It's beautiful. 3K lead off that. Now potentially be able to pressure this tower here, and they still have Fiend's Gate at the ready. So Liquid, difficult to be able to contest this one until Nisha does respawn.
And with this tower gold, if they're able to take it in a bit more, Quinn's pretty much going to have the diffusal coming out. A very quick time.
A devastating one for these supports, the Shadow Demon in particular, but Nisha He's gonna need some help, and I'm looking at his itemization right now. He is just queuing up the normal Witchblade and stuff. Will need some type of answer to protect himself versus this Riki early on.
I mean, with this Riki getting this sort of a good start, do you imagine we'll see adaptation from the support item builds on Liquid to try and respond to this?
Probably. I mean, you're gonna need to just all queue 4 steps in particular. You know, you're playing versus Riki. The shard's gonna be devastating at some point.
Behind the tower,
Duracho.
It's pretty deep here, but he's got backup from Ace. Comes in with a Fiend's Gate. Gaimin Gladiators, they've got the numbers, but so has Liquid as well. 33 looking to push back Stereo here with the Soul Assumptions. Duracho turns, gets the stun, but the disruption save will be there. For Nisha buying him some time, but the smoke screen persists. He'll get the orb off, jump out of the side, holds them back with the Dream Core, but the Flame Break hits. The final rank things come through. Tofu able to take Nisha down. Gaimin Gladiators considering pushing him for more. Jump forward with the tricks of the trade. Snowball buys some safety for Boxy. He rolls over towards Tofu. Tofu, he has the lasso up and ready. The lockdown's there. They bring in Boxy. Boxy to fall. Gaimin Gladiators, they get 2. They're even considering pushing it for more up to the tier 2. Finally, they'll hold back. Liquid, they'll be pushed right back away from this all, and each and every one of these fights, we're seeing both teams turn up in their numbers, but Gaimin Gladiators, they've just got that extra little bit of power that is required to make sure they come out on top each and every time.
I mean, it's these auras. You can see that the damage, which was actually even pretty much across the board inside of this fight, 5,000 from both sides, but that little bit of extra sustain that you see that Gaimin has, they've got the heal coming out from the Chen. He's got 4 of these auras blocking magic damage, giving extra HP regen, giving extra armor too. That's the difference maker. And now Quinn, the defusal is done. We'll see how much he wants to move up the priority of that shard, since it can be great versus these shaves. But right now, Gaimin, they're starting to get that ball rolling that we've seen them really take over games with. And it doesn't feel like they're really going to slow down at all.
Not at all, especially if Quinn gets away with this, going straight for the Ags after the defusal. Yeah. His farm, his sort of net worth advantage, it's not going to stop unless Liquid can find ways to take him out. As we're seeing so far, it's proven to be incredibly difficult. And yeah, with the addition of Ace now having the Crimson Guard, things are really coming together for Gaimin Gladiators in the way you can only imagine they plan for when they look to try and strike hard at Liquid in this game 1 with this first draft.
And especially with like a Riki pick, you know, their idea, and I think a good idea versus Liquid would be shut down Nisha in a lot of these games. And that is exactly what they've done so far. And yeah, difficult to see how Nisha can be protected unless they fully play around him, but he needs this protection. He cannot go down at the start of the fight. They need multiple different orbs, multiple different silences to come in. If he goes in like he did last time and just gets killed after 1 full set of spells, it's just not going to be enough for them to push Gaimin away. I mean, now getting more auras. The Crimson now online.
It just feels whatever happens now at this stage, these next few minutes of play, I don't know if Liquid can look to fight, because the damage, it's just not going to be there.
No, and Mickey, he is spotted. They're going to look to react up here, but the damage is quick. Can Boxy bail him out?
He's going to try, but there's only so much he can do. The Drinking Buddy play will come in. It's not going to save him, though. Mickey still to fall. Ace comes over with the Fiend's Gate. They're ready to punish Boxy as well. As Boxy, nobody here to help him out. As Gaimin Gladiators, they're making it look pretty easy now, picking up kills, picking up objectives.
They're playing too fast, and Liquid, they're not prepared for it, Owen. They're TPing to react, but then by the time that they TP and react, it feels like it's too late. They have to be there at least with one of those extra heroes to bail someone out first. Gaimin now gets a tier 2 at the 15-minute mark.
This is crazy.
And those auras, they're going to, as we said, start accelerating very fast. Celery, I believe the Solar Crest is done. They've got Crimson, and Pipe is soon going to be on the horizon for Ace. Liquid, they only really have that Boots of the Bearing at the moment on 33, so not really that much damage mitigation coming out for them versus what is heavy damage from Gaimin and heavy damage mitigation.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Even if Liquid land their spells, what sort of combo is there that they have right now that gets even close to threatening Gaimin Gladiators in a 5v5?
It's just got to catch heroes isolated, really, for the most part. But yeah, they're starting to get very tanky. Even Quinn, without having auras, he's sitting at close to 1,500 HP on a Riki when he's on those strength treads. And he is going to win. So he's just going to go down the normal, like, just scaling build rather than going for his axe or his shard. He doesn't feel like he needs it, probably. Because of how good this early game has gone, he probably can go for this type of play that allows him to scale and then go back for the shard when he feels necessary. Because so far, they haven't been able to save the puck anyway. Liquid.
See if they can find some of these pickoffs that they desperately need. Tofu, he'll get caught out. It's one quick one here for Liquid. Maybe see if they can get something else with the Dream Coil setup. Quinn's been found. The follow-up silence, they've got him completely locked down. Liquid, they find the chance here to strike at Gaimin Gladiators 1 by 1. And they get one of the big ones. Quinn, he's out.
Best way to be able to play versus Gaming, split them up, catch them when they aren't moving away. When they're grouped, very strong, but if you catch some of these individual heroes, that's the power of the lineup.
Absolutely, yeah. Team fight's not an option right now for Liquid. No. They're finding their opportunities here to take something away from Gaimin Gladiators in terms of this 1 by 1.
They will start to get these items that will allow them to start getting more team fights, though. More damage in particular for Mickey. I believe the Gleipnir is now going to be finished, so smaller tools to be able to enable them to take actual head-on 5v5s rather than just needing pickoffs.
Bottom lane, they've got their eyes on Nisha.
They're going to go for him right away.
Quinn, he's ready to lead in. Boxy is standing by his side, but how much can the Tusk do to save the puck? Smoke screen's there. Fiend's Gate comes in, drinking buddies will drag him out to the side. The pit catches onto the three of them. Dretcho gets the pull back onto Insania. The shards will actually get some space there for Insania, but Quinn's able to jump over. The stun comes out though. Insania's able to target the ult off on towards Quinn. Incredible save there by Boxy with the shards, keeping Insania alive, allowing him to play his hand, and that now enables Liquid to potentially turn the fight around. They'll look towards Ace. Boxy charging forward. Nisha, he's been caught again. This time he'll fall. Boxy caught by the lasso. Dratcher beating into it. Boxy turns. They've taken down a second. Double kill for Mickey. Celery got in his brow. Triple kill for Mickey. Liquid. What a way to turn around the fight that Gaimin Gladiators absolutely put everything into. And it was the little things, as I said, Boxy. A fantastic angle with the shards, giving Insania just that little bit of movement, little bit of space to get out, to be able to turn, survive, get the demonic purge off.
They were prepared for that fight. That's the important thing. They didn't have to TP every single hero. They had Boxy in position for the initial go. I can't believe Quinn lives, by the way. He actually dodged demonic purge with his tricks of the trade there. So that's the only reason he actually survives in it instead of losing 4 heroes. Liquid, the numbers were there. They were super prepared.
Crazy stuff. I mean, now the goal difference is flickering between the two of them. The exact fight that Liquid needed to find to take away that lead. Gaimin Gladiators was starting to build.
It's so much gold that they can get if they're able to just get Mickey getting to this turret kind of position, and 33 able to just shoot, what, 5, 6 soul assumptions? So he got a ton of bonus gold as well. And they brought it down to even. And now starting to accrue these items, these auras, and these items to protect the supports.
Now they're ready to go. They're not scared of a team fight no more, Liquid, after that.
Quinn is scouting them to dust.
And straight into the high ground.
A little awkward here now.
Gaimin Gladiators is looking back at them.
He's got a lasso in 2 seconds here.
Tofu's tempted to go, see if he can get any sort of catch. Off to the side of the Fiend's Gate. It's coming in. Duracho. He's just completely caught alone there. It looks like some sort of attempt there for Gaimin Gladiators to try and pincer in Liquid, but Liquid just ends up catching Duracho alone. There's nobody by his side. A Fiend's Gate was laid down, but they weren't going to be able to get to him in time to help out.
They're still looking for the fight. Ace actually goes through this portal.
Oh.
Ace?
All right, he's pretty tanky. I mean, but they might find the setup here if Boxy can get the angle. See how much they want to try and chase for this Liquid. Ace into the trees. Shards will find him. I mean, slowly but surely, Liquid, they're surrounding him. Gaimin Gladiators are coming in from the side, and maybe it's a bit of a bait. Ace, is it a successful bait or is it a mistake? He's going to try and push him forward, but Liquid, they can turn, bring in the damage to bring down Ace. The coil is there. Liquid, they're tearing them apart here. Quinn trying to run just back in off to the side. The orb comes out for Nisha, takes him out. Sprout catches Celery. Liquid.
They're just winning all these fights now.
They've really
got these items. They've got the entire group up, and now this tower is in trouble. They've got a glyph. Beautiful fights coming out. Boxy in particular tanking up, being able to get these beautiful shards to start it off. And honestly, Ace, he kind of just delivered himself a little bit there.
I mean, that's why I felt that maybe this was going to be like a calculated bait by him. But you're going through the gate, Liquid, they just turn, chase him down. And at the end of the day, he only ends up baiting his own team into a fight that goes horrifically.
And look at another aura, full Shivas for 33. Massive to be able to counteract a lot of this healing, but also just be able to stop these heroes from kind of bursting him down at all. He's 7-0-7 on this Visage now.
I'll see it again, as you say, now Boxy knowing exactly where to find Ace in the tree line. Gaimin Gladiators, they really try and rally around their Underlord at this point, but at that stage he's too low.
I mean, the coil catches literally everybody all clumped up. Nisha, he's made the full recovery from that early game. It's a distant memory now. And he does have his defensive Force Staff. They have the Ghost Scepter on the Shadow Demons. They've got the answers now to be able to protect themselves versus this Ricky, who now has just died a couple times in a row.
A smile's coming out there from Nisha. It's got to feel pretty good having the impact that he's having now in these fights after such a tough start off the back of the laning stage. Needs to calm down a bit again. Gaimin Gladiators, the claim their Tormentor.
They're playing to their strength though, and it is daytime, so that Roche potentially an option here for Liquid if they want to group up and go for it now that they have this great way to team fight, great way to keep these lanes in an aggressive position too. Gaimin has to be careful about these next few moments. They cannot make another mistake like that versus Liquid, or it's going to be difficult to recover.
Absolutely.
They literally hand-delivered Duracho in that fight and also aped afterwards. And yeah, they're going to go for this Roshan. It's tough to contest this one. Not going to make it in time.
Smoke coming out from Gaimin Gladiators. They're going to look to try and swing across towards the mid, but indeed with the movements from Nisha over towards Roshan and the rest of his team, unlikely that they actually get a catch here. They could look to continue to swing down and maybe try and fight post Aegis, but that would be a risky call to make.
Yeah, especially at this point now that Duracho is not nearly as farmed as this Nature's Prophet, and Mickey is massive.
He is.
4,000 difference between him and that CK.
That's sort of the cleanup that he's been enabled to have in the last few fights has massively propelled him ahead.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, Quinn, he does have his Aghanims finished, but that shard has been delayed a lot. We saw a couple of saves come out that he maybe could have gone down the route of going for it, so could maybe have been an error that he wanted to go for this type of scaling rather than just being able to match the pressure of Liquid, not having that shard to stop these saves. And Liquid now, with this momentum, they're onto high ground. These towers drop very fast. There's no cliff.
Well, let's see how much they can push it. They've got the Aegis ready, of course, and Mickey's ready to frontline. Gladiators, they have got lasso potential to try and punish overextensions. Tier 3's gone.
I mean, oh, and who used the cliff there? Oh. That tower's just gone. They don't have it for these racks.
There's the Dream Coil from Nisha. Okay, you've got to only imagine the Liquid want to try and go for more. Mickey is actually going to back off and start dealing with the top, but of course teleportation will be at the ready if they want to go for round 2 here on the bottom lane.
They can always look to re-go. Gaimin has to be careful how far they step out here. The Orchid is ready on Duracho for that extra catch for Nisha. They should have identified that one. They should see it. But they do have multiple ways to bail Nisha out if he does get caught even from one of these extra silences. Yeah, Gaimin trapped in their base with 5 for a second there. You see that gold start to quickly swing even more. Mickey is just going to keep growing, and the CK's not be able to get outside the map in a similar fashion.
Yeah, Mickey about halfway towards the BKB and still having what, the 3.5 minutes on the Aegis. Very likely he's going to have that window where he'll have both BKB and Aegis to try and push forward and look to take a set of racks away from Gaimin Gladiators.
And Liquid playing it very smart. They're just sweeping across toward the map, not giving them an opportunity to look for this Nature's Prophet to find some type of kill. Quinn now will have that shard finished, so that extra minus armor, the prevention of any of these saves that can come out on that smokescreen target, maybe Gaimin's gonna look to make a move off of that. If they can lasso somebody, catch them inside of that one, they could get some type of these kills if they find Liquid a bit split up here.
It depends how sort of far Quinn wants to delve into Liquid's half of the map.
It is scary.
It's very spooky right now. They have limited, if any, vision on Liquid's side.
And look at how they're playing as well, too. The two supports on the side of Liquid. You see Boxy is playing near the puck, and you see the Shadow Demon is playing near the Nature's Prophet. So they have a guaranteed way to kind of bail out. Even though there is this shard, of course, on this Ricky, they're preparing for this next move that could come out from Gaimin.
I mean, with the D-Ward occurring, Liquid are definitely going to expect that there could be a high chance that Gaimin Gladiators are looking for something around this area. And they're playing incredibly defensive, Liquid. Just waiting, sensing if Gaimin Gladiators do try and lead the charge here with Quinn.
Hey, they're just playing smart. They're sitting on top of a sentry. So if Quinn does walk up too far, could just get burst down instantly if he gets called from a coil.
Looks like Quinn knows, playing to the edge of the map.
Sneaky, sneaky. Will clear the wave, does show himself for a second, the dust, not quite in range.
They're not going to quite clip him. Quinn playing perfectly sneaky. The damage output stepping up here. That's a full Parasma now on Nisha.
Just steps up the aggression, feels like he doesn't need to have that defense anymore. He is very tanky with the Pupil's Gift. It is a 2,500 HP puck.
I mean, Liquid's ready to go. If he can get the catch here, Quinn turns to the smoke screen, force forward for Nisha, able to jump forward, get the Dream Coil up onto the two of them. A beautiful setup there comes in from Nisha. The Fiendscape will come in and instead to turn things around, but Quinn's already gone. Celery's going to get left behind. Gaimin Gladiators cannot fight Liquid right now. And now beyond the tier 2, they may just find Ace on top of it all. They get the silence, the shard trap from Boxy. They'll find a third Liquid.
They can go high ground again. There's still not that glyph available. They can start threatening this. I mean, they can start threatening racks and maybe even threatening the close-up of this game. Gaming, they cannot contest this group up.
This is going to be such a strong push. A minute left on the Aegis. A full BKB birds coming out from Mickey.
And these racks are dead. The birds plus this tree, it just dies in a heartbeat.
And they can look for more. They'll take the top set, they're ready to swing across over towards the mid here, Liquid.
It feels like they've probably done it here. I mean, still 20 seconds for the Underlord, the one who can de-push. The glyph is popped, but they're sending treants even down toward bottom.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere, Liquid.
They're like, oh, Gaimin, you like to play with your 25-minute timings? Well, so do we. 26 minutes. They're looking to potentially close this out here.
They've really sort of turned the game on its head if you consider what we were seeing in the first 10 minutes of this one. Liquid hitting back harder than ever here. Duraccio's going to try and start some action, but the BKB comes down for 33. Illusions will remain on 33, and they have to lasso as well, dragging in the Visage. 33, is there going to be any sort of save for him? There is not. 33 will fall.
Can they chase for more?
They need more Gaimin Gladiators.
Oh, nice shards trapping Duraccio.
See what they can find, but Ace is caught in the Sprout, trying to get out of this. The bottom Persian's down, upon him, Boxy comes in with a punch up. The Dream Call catching them all. Ace, he's out, has the buyback available if he wants to consider it. Gaimin Gladiators trying to find Boxy in return, jump forward from Quinn, but he's caught by the silence. He's trying to get away from Mickey, but the right clicks from Mickey, and Nisha too much. Quinn goes down.
They tried to chase to get some kills, but Duraccio was stuck in shards for the entire duration for it. While Ace was going down, he couldn't help his buddy. Liquid continue to play strong.
Duraccio with the silence, but Nisha's trusting in Insania. Insania, he'll have the save or the offensive disruption when needed. Gives Nisha the chance to continue to play and live. York comes in. In fact, Nisha, he jumps in. He's got no fear right now. Mickey steps forward, gets the drag back here. Duraccio, as he turns towards Mickey, going to catch on to Mickey. Mickey's getting torn apart by the illusion. Mickey's dead. Duraccio will fall in return.
Nisha.
The buyback's going to come out from Quinn. Gaimin Gladiators and Quinn, he knows he's got to look for whatever chance he can to punish back onto Liquid. Tries to make the jump over the horses, but Mickey also in with the buyback. The smoke screen's down. Quinn, he fought back for this. He's out for 75 seconds.
They're looking to end it, Owen. The buyback from Mickey. Quinn's gone. This is likely Megas. Can Ace hold on to it? They've got a buyback from Duraccio. Liquid, will they respect that?
I mean, that's the question. How confident do Liquid play? Yes, they know there's no Quinn for a minute.
It's 5v4.
How much can they take? Liquid.
Tofu waiting in the wings, looking for a lasso target.
Still being very careful, indeed, respecting the catch from Bat.
It's just tough because the double saves. Mickey, he's at the ready. His BKB's up in 4 seconds.
It's the mid-rack's gone. Liquid.
The final set.
I'll tick off another objective, and they're ready to keep it going. 30 seconds, they know there's no Quinn.
It died so fast. They gotta look to go on the side of Gaimin. They can't just watch these racks go to Megas.
Tofu is gonna try with the grab, but the disruption comes in immediately. They try desperately. Gaimin Gladiators here to fight for, but it's fine. The hand of gold comes down, but it won't save Ace. Ace, he's out. He has buyback available. Duraccio tries to sneak back to the safety of the fountain. He'll get back, but the racks are gone. Liquid, they've claimed the Mega Creeps.
29 minutes Megas. Good luck coming back from that one versus this type of lineup, and I don't think Liquid's going to look to get out of the base. They still got 30 seconds to keep the push going.
They know that they can get so much done
here.
They
call it.
Oh, they do. GG is called. Liquid. I mean, what a phenomenal game one, considering what happened in the opening moments and in some of the